We are going to know the law on this Wednesday. Rachel Pappy, partner and vice president of Polston Tax, here to keep us in the know about the IRS. And today we are talking about something that has us both kind of worked up. The IRS has new debt collection agencies, and I think this is going to affect not just people who owe, but a lot of us, because it's confusing already with some of the scams out there, right?
Right. That's the thing I'm most worried about, honestly, is that we have had so many people calling our office saying, I got a call from the IRS. They say I'm going to be arrested. They're going to throw me in jail. They've bugged my house. Don't call anyone to talk about it. Send us money. Send us iTunes gift cards. Send us Amazon gift cards. Send us all these weird payments. And the American public has been duped out of millions of dollars from these scam artists. Up till now, I've been able to tell people the IRS isn't going to call you. They don't call you threatening you over the phone. Well, soon you're going to have private debt collection agencies legitimately calling. And who's going to be able to tell the difference between the scams and the real private debt collection agency?
This is frightening. Now, you told me there are 4 new debt collection agencies that the government's contracted with, or something like that?
The IRS is going to be using one company called Pioneer, a CBE group of Cedar Falls, Iowa, Conserve of Fairport, New York, Performant of Livermore, California, and Pioneer of Horseheads in New York.
And they get a take out of what they collect, so they're going to go for it.
Right. So they get 25% of what they collect. And right now, the IRS puts millions of people on what they call an economic hardship, meaning you can't pay for your rent and also pay us. You can't afford to buy food, just basic living expenses. The most basic living expenses is what the IRS gives you. People who are making under $20,000 a year. These private debt collection agencies aren't held to that same standard. And so in the past, the IRS has used private debt collection agencies twice before, and both times they have been failed as being too expensive for the government and not collecting the revenue they needed. And more importantly, they've been violating the rights of taxpayers. Most of those private debt collection agencies were preying on the elderly and low income, people who are making less than $20,000 a year. So we're really worried.
So we are, and how are they going to make sure that doesn't happen again?
We don't know that it's not going to happen again, because the guidelines to these private debt collection agencies don't say that they can't be preying on people who are living on Social Security, people who have very low income, people who are in an economic hardship. Frankly, they could go after those individuals, and they're getting a take of it.
Okay, so now when we get these phone calls, because I've gotten them.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do? How do we know?
Right. I used to be able to say, if they're calling you, it's a scam. I can't say that anymore. What I can say is you could call the IRS to see if your account has been given to a private debt collection agency, but even that's not going to be easy. If any taxpayer calls the IRS, you're going to be on hold for an hour and a half, maybe longer. The IRS hasn't said that they're going to have a specific number for taxpayers to call to verify that their account has been given to a private debt collection agency. So for now, I would say call the IRS, be prepared to wait, and see if you can verify where your account has gone.
Okay. Question now, when you say debt collector, are these people who know that they owe taxes, or is this, you're not going to get your official letter like you're being audited, or these are people who didn't pay? Or,
right. So these are individuals
and know that they probably do. Maybe.
Exactly. So these are people who owe money. The people who, if you're getting a call and you know that you owe money, I wouldn't necessarily believe it right away. I would still call the IRS to make sure that they've gone to a private debt collection agency. But the accounts that are being given to them are for people who already owe money to the government.
So you would have been alerted.
The IRS is sending letters saying that they're handing over your account to a private debt collection agency, but that doesn't mean you're going to get the letter, because they send it to the last address of record, which means you may never have gotten the letter that says, we're coming after you, we've been looking for you. Now we're giving it to a private debt collection agency.
Okay, this is confusing. All right, well, Rachel, that's why you're here. You're in the house to help us out. There are several ways you can get in contact with the Polston Tax Resolution and Accounting firm, and which, after all this, we all may need to. Facebook, Polston Tax, Twitter, @Polston Tax, Instagram, Polston Tax, LinkedIn, Polston Tax website, polstontax.com. And Polston Tax Resolution and Accounting has 5 locations in Oklahoma City, Edmond, Norman, Tulsa, and Wichita. Or you can give them a call. The number's right there, 405-810-2146. And they are also assisting clients nationwide.